Hey everyone, welcome to Bickering Book Reviews. I'm Sarah,
And I'm Becky.
and today we're talking about An Emotion of Great Delight by Tahereh Mafi. We both got this off NetGalley.
Okay.
This is about Shadi, who last year lost her brother. We don't really know kind of what the circumstances were around it, but as a result, the book flashes between before she had lost her brother and after, a year after. And so in this year after, her father's sick with heart issues. Her mom is not handling the grief well and not handling the father being sick well. Um, and Shadi blames her father for whatever happened with the brother. It takes time to figure that out. She's also struggling because she no longer is friends with her best friend, because her best friend believes that Shadi was in love with her brother. And that, like, it's just like one of those she didn't want to share, kind of. That sounds really gross. um, but basically, they're fighting. Shadi's fighting with her older sister, who doesn't blame their father and thinks that Shadi's acting like an idiot. And so it's just kind of this overwhelming emotion of grief and kind of coming through it, because as she kind of faces her father's mortality after losing her brother, it's kind of finding her way through it, and just dealing with the emotions that are surrounding all of these kind of terrible things that are happening to her.
Right.
Anything more that, like, I need to add
No, we
to
don't want to give
that?
away too much. So there are a couple of things. Like, first of all, as you describe it, and I'm thinking about it, this should have been a short story.
Yeah.
I just, and it's only 250 pages, and it just didn't.
There was no plot arc. Like, there's
Yeah,
not much to it. But emotionally and language wise, it's stellar. I mean, she really captures, like, literature language. She really does. It kind of falls apart when you come to, like, plot and all that, but
right. And like, she did touch on some really interesting ideas. There's like one of the reasons that she and the friend kind of drifted apart was because after 9/11, some people chose to hide the fact they were Muslim, and I thought that was interesting because Shadi, I think I'm not sure, um, decided not to do that, and the friend did do that. Like the friend embraced trying to look as American as possible, and I thought that was interesting. And I just there were just like you would go off onto like little side bits that weren't really necessary to the book. Like there was issues with her mother, which I understand why that was there, but it wasn't fully explored. There was a new boy at school who was African American, half Persian, and he was looking for a welcoming mosque. And like that, like he was there, and I kept waiting for something to happen with him because they'd introduced this character and they never did.
I feel like as you talk, what it kind of highlights for me is we spent so much time in this emotional place and focused on all of these emotions that everything else fell by the wayside.
And maybe that's the point because the book is an emotion of great delight. So maybe I'm supposed to just be feeling what she's feeling. And for some people who are like, they're looking for the language and that's what they want, that's going to be great. But I'm more worried about plot and characters.
Right, I agree.
And I didn't get that. And I even like the relationship between Shadi and her friend's brother, whose name I can't, Ollie, right? Wasn't
Ollie.
he? Like, I feel like there was so much more I could have seen there, and I would have felt more satisfied reading the book. And it's hard because Tahereh Mafi, I've read like almost everything she's put out in the world, and she is like this gifted writer. And like, just like there are certain, you read certain sentences and you're like, well, that's very beautifully worded, but I didn't feel like it had the development that I wanted.
Well, and I feel like an idiot because I don't think I understood the ending. I, like, read that last sentence and I'm like, what?
Well, and what you thought it meant and what I thought it meant were two different things.
Yeah, I still think, and I'm not particularly interested in going back and rereading it, but I don't think I understood the ending.
And to me, like the ending had like an optimistic note, but to you, it
To
didn't.
me, it felt like just depressing.
So we should probably just rate this.
Okay. Our rating scale goes from 5 unicorns down to 2 unicorns. If we don't like it, it doesn't get a horn and is therefore a horse. So where are you?
So this book is 250 pages and it took me 3 days to read it. But the writing, which that's a long time in my world. For other people, they're like, that's nothing. But the writing was well done. So I'm going to go with a 3. I think that if it had more character and plot, I probably would be like at a 4 or 5 just because of the way she writes. But for where we are, it's a 3.
See, and I think that her writing is what really kind of is pushing her score up. But like I personally didn't enjoy it, and so my personal rating is going to be a 2 because I'm not rating it for like because yeah, like you can use it in a classroom. Yeah, you know, it certainly is one that you can recommend. Wouldn't be my first choice of recommendation, but I mean, it's a solid like it gets the job done. So I'm vacillating between a 2 and a 3. So if I go with like what my personal thought is, like for me personally, I'm gonna go with the 2 unicorns.
Well, the thing is, like, it's not even the book I'd recommend from her. It's not even the book I would recommend about a Muslim girl's experience after 9/11 by her.
Yeah.
And I just flaked on the name of the other book, but I thought the other book was so beautiful and I loved it so much. And I always put it on display whenever I have a copy and I can't remember the name.
I'm like visualizing it. Like I see the
right?
cover and now I'm like frustrated that I can't hang on. We have to find that.
Because that book was amazing.
A very large expanse of sea.
A Very Large Expanse of Sea. I love that book.
I love that book too. That book was phenomenal. Like that
And
book was perfection.
like every time that book comes in, like I'm like, it's right there on display. I'm like,
Yeah.
people need to see this book.
And maybe that's why this book felt the way that it did because that book was so phenomenal.
And that's possible. But we should stop. And that is where we are on
On
Emotion of Great Delight.
thank you.
And we'll see you around. Bye.